the Crescent Collective.
It's Latin-based, means to grow. In that term, it's applied to the moon in terms of waxing and waning, and it's kind of a feminine word, and we are a group of women.
We were all at the Regis Center for Art, and it actually had no fresh food in it at all. And so we really got the idea of, what would it be like to grow food in that space, and where would we do that? And that really started our interest in hydroponics as a group.
We're all gardeners, and we're all interested in food, I think, in general.
Behind me is the hydroponic system that we designed together.
It's called Grow Up.
It was really made for kids here at Youth Farm. We were really interested in giving them something that could utilize the verticality of the greenhouse. So it's kind of like a water park, but with plants. There's about, 66 heads of lettuce in here every 3 weeks. It's been really exciting for us to see something that we made as a work of art kind of continue to change and grow.
A lot of our projects end up being absurd in some way or another.
You have one thing in mind, but you have to be very flexible, right? The plant has a mind of its own, and it's going to do what it wants and what's best for it. It's a collaboration in a way, in a lot of ways. Our idea as Crescent Collective was to basically divide ourselves and kind of each go for our own prototype, different kind of way of growing indoors. We really were interested in just having that freedom to explore and play with materials. A sense that, yes, we're probably gonna fail, but we're gonna learn a lot. The object was to create a system that utilized recycled materials versus plastic. The actual containers themselves for the plants are made from cutting the tops off of beer bottles. The water nutrient solution will help feed these little seedlings. Another system which utilized more of the idea of kind of growing out of a fibrous curtain.
And water is going to pump up into the top of it and then flow down through the whole thing and back into the center. It sprouted really fast. The wheatgrass was doing well. I had nutrients in it. And then I was out of town for quite a while, so it was getting kind of checked on once a week or so and having water added to it, but it didn't get as much nutrients as it needed. And I may just start again from scratch because I did learn quite a few things from this prototype.
This is kind of a wacky form that we put together one day. Well, we had a heat gun. In here is planted thyme and marjoram and other herbs. It's on a drip system. Every day, this system gets 5 seconds worth of water, and that's all it needs. And this will go into the PVC pipe along with that hose. There's some kinks to work out of the system, no pun intended.
We think of all of our hydroponic prototypes as sculptures that grow food. This is the hydroponic table. We like the idea of how literal could we get with local food, in the sense that it's this immediate, consumption. I think it reconnects people back to this, cycle of growing and change.
There's been a turnaround from having most of the people in the world live in rural areas and having most of the people of the world familiar with nature and with growing, now flipping over to people of the world as a common experience being familiar with urban spaces.
And for us, we're just really interested in how, as our population increases, how we kind of have to react to that and think about how we grow our food and how that's going to change.
Going through your day in the city environment, where could you encounter plants that you wouldn't otherwise? What's the possibility for having green space inside a public skyway?
And being able to have a community garden go vertical.
We're also interested in not so much maybe the production of food, but just that reconnection between a person and a plant. Is it science? Is it art? Sculpture? What exactly is this? It's a little bit alien. But we're really interested in that and sort of bringing this idea of the sort of alien or unknown or sort of alternative ways of growing indoors.